We'll see what Dante chooses to do. With the bow, he could choose to do pod. We know that's probably not the correct play because we know the hammer's not there.
Oh, he is taking that glove to catfish right away.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go, either you do it now or you just don't do it. Oh, there's our map check. A swamp is a pendant, as is ice and mire with our red crystals at pod and TR. So that question about whether Dante would do swamp palace when he got there, I mean, he's gonna have a lot of other choices because he will have myths. Oh, hey, there's another bow and a sword. Okay, so Dante easily gonna get to tempered sword silvers. Nielsen Alex, let's see, where was the he'll definitely get the sword. He may not get the silvers. But if Nielsen Alex, he might just, this is unfortunate if he goes to pod right now, which, you know, is I think a reasonable play for him to do. Just he won't be able to combine Eastern with it because he doesn't have that mirror from the mountain. But yeah, I wouldn't say Nielsen Alex definitely not getting silvers. I would say it's highly unlikely. I don't see him going back to Zora anytime in the near future. Not see what Catfish was, but I'm not seeing anyone going crazy over it, so I'm guessing it was nothing.
It was just 50 rupees.
Yeah, that would be
even
nothing.
If we end up on like a late game ice rod hunt or something, Zora's probably not going to be the first of his off checks.
No, yeah, exactly. We are going to get these 2 mirror checks from we're going to do it from here. Different places you can put that mirror portal. Yeah, chat rightly pointing out, we may not even need that mirror. Which means it could, you know, if he wants to just completely put off the mountain, he could. Unfortunately, in his case, like, that works out really well if you could find, you know, have a seed without a mirror, and your opponent finds the mirror and does all the mirror checks. But most of the mirror checks that Dante's doing are relatively on path. So, you know, there's a little bit of time to be lost from that, but not a ton. So far, these mirror checks in the North Dark World, not going to matter. So if Nielsen Alex never does them, he'll be fine.
Although having that mirror would be a bit of a time saving pod, not terribly much, but nice to have at least.
I mean, mirror. There are places where mirror just flat out saves time. Pod, routing GT, in particular. But for Nielsen Alex, what we hope to see, what we don't want to see happen for Alex is we don't want to see him find the mirror late and then has to do all these mirror checks that Dante's already done, except that he'll do them in a very inefficient fashion. But yeah, chat's right. We have rods, medallions, and desert access left for no mode.
Dante is going to Skullwoods to get those mitts.
No, mitts were in Village. Or were they? There were 2 items in here.
The hammer was in Village.
Okay, I had it flipped. This right here is the red boomerang. Yeah, I like this, you know, like I said, I like the Skullwoods play when you don't have a hammer, to do that before you go into Thieves Town, because, you know, there's always that worry of orphaning the big chest. We know that even without the hammer, the runners weren't going to orphan it, but... So far, not a lot in pod, but we haven't gotten to the meaty portion. Always 4 small keys in the front at least. Looks like we already got the big key because Nielsen Alex goes straight to the back. Without a mirror, I really like this play. You go straight to the back, you kill the boss, and it warps you to the front, and then you go straight to the boss, and then you can do the back afterwards and save and quit out of it. Yeah, there's those mitts. Yeah, it's another place the mirror saves time because he can just mirror out instead of having to worry about death warps and such.
And death warping on 9 Hearts Red Mail is not exactly the most fun thing to do.
No, it really isn't. I mean, you got Gibdos in there, they'll do plenty of damage, but still. And of course, Dante will get to Thieves Town now as well. Looks like he can do his last village checks first. He's gonna not last location the hammer, but last location before Thieves Town the hammer. Very possible he would have gone straight into Thieves Town without checking these, and check these second if he actually had the hammer already.
Well, having that hammer before going in is going to be a mental relief, even if it ends up not mattering.
Yep. Well, he doesn't know it doesn't matter. He doesn't know there's a compass, I think, or maybe a map, I forget which, sitting in the big chest. And now you just don't have to worry about it. And Helma down for Nielsen Alex. I fully expect him to go back in.
Just a 20 rupee payout for defeating that large lizard creature.
Yep, going right back in. Now let's see what the back has. We've only seen 2 items, so there's 3 more. Right, another small key, because we need 2 more of those. There's the map. There's a small key. We can skip Harmless Hellway now. No, wait, we can't skip Harmless Hellway because we've used the extra key. Normally with 2 keys, you can say that Harmless Hellway's got a key, but we used one of the keys already, so from the back, so it'd have to be 1 key to skip it. And we could have skipped it anyway because there's 20 rupees, but that would be scary.
So that means the compass and 2 items are here in Dark Maze?
Mm-hmm. Blue Cane, which does nothing because we already had logical access to Spike Cave with the cape. There's that compass making us do the whole thing. And 50 rupees, so nothing in the back of pod. Chances are Dante does that relatively soon, given our pendant crystal layout. So probably does full clear it, but there is a world in which Dante finds all the things before that happens.
Nielsen Alex having to run all the way to Eastern, having not picked up that mirror yet.
Yep, he's gonna get his glove. Yeah, this is the unfortunate part about him going straight to pod instead of doing the mountain first. He would have gotten a slight time save being able to just mirror to Eastern, but in the end, not that big a deal. Right now, ideally, he just avoids the mountain until he needs to go to Turtle Rock, but that's a lot to ask.
At least on the flip side, having those mitts when he goes up there means he can do Dark Death Mountain all in one trip.
Yeah, he'll be able to do all the mountain except, possibly Thieves Town, because we don't know the medallion requirements. Not Thieves Town, Turtle Rock, and, we don't know if we'll find where we're going to find those rods. Alright, that's blind down for Dante.
That is his 3rd bottle knowledge and his 3rd crystal pickup.
Yep. He only has 2 bottles because the other one's sitting on the floating island and will always sit on the floating island and stay there forever. And with the mirror, he's gonna go ahead and check Sick Kid with that bottle. Could do a Smith chain thing with the, as mirror and with mirror and everything, mirror and mitts. If you're gonna do the Smith chain, this is the time to do it.
Heading back into the Dark World, so it looks like... Well, I mean, he's still got the...
He's still got
dig
Hype
game to do
Cave.
for sure. Oh, yeah, of course.
So he's going to do Dig Game first, and then, you know, you have to do Dig Game without a follower. You can't, the guy at the Dig Game does not like it if you have someone with you. So he's going to do that, and then if he's going to do Smith Chain, you do it right afterwards. Gets that Ether Medallion. So only Quake can screw us up on Turtle Rock. A required Quake could potentially be good for Nielsen Alex if it's in a bad enough spot and he finds it first.
Yeah, that's true. Also, Dante has not turned to that mushroom, so he has the option of fake powdering here.
Yeah, maybe he does it. His magic items to get... Well, I guess he's got a cape, so you can use the cape to get his magic down. I don't know that you do that here. Would not surprise me either way. If you're gonna if you're gonna do the fake powder, this is the time to do it, for sure. The Smiths give $10 back. People forget, it costs 10 rupees to actually, for the Smith. You know, you bring the guy home, and he's so grateful, he charges you $10. We're not gonna see the fake powder here. And we have to keep the purple chest right now because we want to do K45. Now, once K45 is done, we can abandon the purple chest, and the guy will think we have it anyway. Meanwhile, with Nielsen Alex having mitts now, I think the mountain is a really good bet for him. Nothing in K45. And now we abandon the purple chest.
Alright, and this is Nielsen Alex's third crystal.
Dante going to do Hype Cave first, before mirroring for the purple chest. I think this is a little bit faster, but for me this is always a little scary because I've seen people forget that they have the purple chest and just save and quit out of Hype Cave. There's that Tempered Sword and Silver Arrows for Dante. Fortunately, Dante looks like he's remembering. You see King's Tomb from Nielsen Alex. We know this is nothing. And while Dante can go into Swamp Palace, I don't imagine he does. Because it is a
Yeah,
pendant.
not when you have pod available.
Yeah, I think Mountain or Pod next for Dante. Ice Rod's really nice. Ah, we're gonna get an Aegina check? Oh, Nielsen X hadn't even checked the Bonk Rocks yet, which is Sphere 1 in Kaz Boots. So the 44-minute Bonk Rocks check is amusing, as is the 45-minute Aegina check, although that's not super uncommon. And we're gonna get a blind Lumberjack check, because he didn't check this either.
This is certainly interesting.
So did he even do... He might not have even done the Lost Woods, so we might be getting the 45-minute Lost Woods check. Okay, looks like
no,
we're getting...
I think he went there after CAC, because he went south to north. And
now Mountain play for Nielsen Alex, and Pod for Dante. So this is good for Nielsen Alex because if Dante had held off on pod, he might have been able to get a go mode pod. And it would have been a very quick pod with a very early big key.
So we are still looking for the Fire Rod, potentially Quake for TR, and then the Book or the Flute to get into Desert.
That is correct. So we are 2 or 3 items from go mode. Now, one of those items is optional. We have 2 choices. Dante in really good shape right now. At this point, Nielsen Alex needs one of those items to be in a bad spot that he can get to first. And Nielsen will skip that bottle because he's got one already.
You have to think the best time for Nielsen Alex to go back for Smith Chain would be after doing Skull Woods once the Fire Rod turns up.
Yeah, but he doesn't need. He can skip that. Like that's there was nothing on the Smith Chain that we need.
Oh wait, no. Ice Rod was in purple chest.
Oh, that's right. Well, he does need to do that, and that's the kind of thing you don't do when you're that behind. Yeah, how soon I forget the importance of the purple chest. And that's very likely. I mean, that's actually really bad. Like, he might actually legit need Quake to be TR, so he doesn't get sucked in looking for an Ice Rod.
Oh, expertly done hover there by Dante.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest hovers in the game, so and a huge time save. Dante having the mirror wouldn't surprise me if he does the back first before going down and killing Helma.
He's having quite the stare down with that crystal switch, and then teleports over to the left side of the bridge. Okay.
See whether Dante goes to the back first, or if you just go -1. I think he still would just do Helma now. Oh, it is Quake. Okay, so that's good. That is actually really good for Nielsen Alex. That will keep him out of Turtle Rock.
For sure. Someone brought up a good point in chat that if the Fire Rod turned up, you're probably going to end up in TR looking for the Ice Rod rather than going to Smith Chain.
Well, and even if you do it now, even if you don't do it now, you're likely gonna go to Turtle Rock, hoping the Ice Rod's just there before you do Smith Chain. And with the Quake Medallion, for now, we can't do that.
Of course, the possibility of the key being under the doormat is still alive.
It sure is. That would not be good right now. So the Ice Rod is in the purple chest to answer chat. For Nielsen Alex, the silvers are on Zora. With the other bow having been in Hype Cave. Okay, no Quake there. We're gonna go do Spike Cave. No Fire Rod either, for that matter.
I think he's doing Hera.
No, we're gonna do Hera first, and then
probably
Spike Cave.
Spike Cave after. I would hope so, at least.
Has he done Spiral Cave? This could be the classic Spike versus Spiral. We know Spiral is nothing. Spike Cave could have something, though. And no book or flute for Desert. Also of note. We are going to shortly have to start thinking about pendant dungeons and which ones do you do. And I think Dante goes back into pod and probably does the mountain.
Yeah, we haven't touched any of our pendant dungeons yet. Of course, we can't get to Meyer, but Ice is the green pendant, and we can definitely go there.
Yeah, Ped, if anybody's thinking Ped, the Fire Rod would have to be there, or Quake. Desert Axis won't be behind Ped because if you get the flute to put Myra in logic, then you don't need the book. So, I mean, a book could be on Ped, but we'll just never know until the credits if that's the case. Nielsen Alex probably feeling good that he doesn't have to worry about Hera Basement. Dante is going to go ahead and clear the back of Pod because he doesn't know that there's nothing here.
And both are runners now on 4 crystals. They have finally done the same 4 dungeons.
Yep. Dante mostly ahead. The Ice Rod, the Smith checks, North Dark World checks. And we're going to get one more check here from Nielsen Alex. We'll see if it's Spike Cave. It is. This is a somewhat orphan check for Dante. You could just do it before going and hitting your pendants, or you could just hit your pendants and hope this is nothing. And it's, I guess, a heart piece. Or maybe let's say, I didn't see if it was Sank Heart or a heart piece. Either way, you get a refill.
I think Sank Heart was in Paradox Cave. But notably, Nielsen Alex was down 4 heart containers quite a while ago, and he's now caught up to Dante.
Yeah, well, I mean, the mountain, that's where Dante got a lot of those heart containers. So I imagine we'll get Dark Death Mountain from Dante now. And it looks like Ice Palace from Nielsen Alex.
I mean, there's no reason to expect he would actually go to Zora, but he's just so close if he'd just go there.
Well, I don't think he goes there unless he does it in the Dark World with Catfish. But, I mean, he doesn't need to. The amount of time it would take him to go get those silvers is not going to be enough of a time save to be worth. I mean, if your Ganon is bad, maybe it's time neutral. I don't expect his Ganon to be bad, so.
Yeah, especially having the tempered sword, those silvers aren't that important.
We are getting to see new checks from Nielsen Alex over here in Ice Palace. Good chance the answer is either here or in Swamp. Or both. We just don't know which.
Chat seems to be having a small crisis over what could be on Ped.
Fire Rod and Quake. Unless Quake is the Meyer medallion as well. I mean, it's entirely possible the flute's just in GT and we'll find a book somewhere, you know? Okay, so looks like Dante heading over. We'll finish this ride up at Spike Cave. Where we know there's nothing. And then he'll have a choice of pendant dungeons.
Do you think he would follow Nielsen Alex into Ice or go for the 6 items in Swamp first?
It's a really good question. Ice is nice because it's the green pendant, and because it's, with Icebreaker, it's a little bit faster. We have all the things we need for Icebreaker. While Swamp House is 6 items, which is nice. So slightly more favored to have the thing we ever? I think we saw this on Nielsen's side and didn't. Okay, he's just going right past it. I thought maybe he was checking Lake Hylia Island. We've seen that. It's nothing. He's also gonna go Ice Palace. So look at half magic. That's nice.
It'd be nicer if we already had the Fire Rod for Cold Stare, but if we had the Fire Rod, we probably wouldn't be here.
I mean, if for the Cold Stare fight, Bombos with Tempered Sword is a pretty easy fight.
Kind of appropriate that both of our runner streams got frozen while they're both in Ice Palace.
Yeah, no, this isn't. Okay, we're back on one of them, but yeah, this isn't a runner issue.
And we're back just in time to see an expertly done Cold Stare fight. And we get the compass.
Yeah, I mean, if this wasn't Green Pendant, I don't think you even bother killing Cold Stare here. But it is Green Pendant, so you don't want to have to come back just for the Green Pendant. And we'll probably see a Green Pendant turn in immediately here. I'm just gonna swim up here to this dock. You don't see very often.
Yeah, I always forget that's an option. And we have disappointment on the Green Pendant.
Yeah, just some money. Granted, Dante's gonna do the same thing. Alex probably gonna go do Swamp now, which is unfortunate because Swamp looks like it holds the answers, and that'll take him away from Purple Chest. But he could choose to go and do doing the Smiths from the south is not awful. You could even drag the Purple Chest up and get things like Graveyard Ledge, which I hate doing. It's a pain. Very easy to lose the Purple Chest in that situation, but it is a choice. But no, we're just gonna do Swamp. Looks like Dante's gonna get to Cold Stare shortly. He'll probably also turn that Green Pendant in right away. First item is nothing.
Very nicely done.
Quick Cold Stare for Dante.
And seeing Specky there on Nielsen and Alex's side, it's so smooth. It never gets old.
So yeah, this is a slightly different choice, this being a pendant dungeon, whether you do left side first or you go to the back, because the boss might be the answer, left side might be the answer. We're missing multiple things, they could both be answers. I think for me, I'd probably go left side if I have the big key and go back if I don't. And it looks like Nielsen Alex is going to go to the back.
Interesting we're not seeing a diver down here.
Yeah, I saw. I called his race the last week. He didn't do diver down there either. Maybe he just isn't comfortable with the tech.
That's completely reasonable.
Yeah, there's our book for desert. So potentially a required swamp palace, since we don't know where Flute is. This will take him to desert next. Probably doesn't go back in for left side, although I do think we have. Yeah, I think we have got at least 2 items. But yeah, this is just further orphans the purple chest. I don't think he goes back in. I think I just go do desert now and then come back here for the left side if I need to.
Yeah, that seems like the most reasonable thing to do.
Okay, we got Dante back. It's in Swamp Palace. We'll see what he does in terms of his routing. Big key on Argus. I think it's 3 items that we have left. Which is interesting, because if Dante chooses to go left side first, then he's gonna have the choice potentially of do I go back in with the big key? And Nielsen Alex says I'm just not going back in. We're gonna check. He's gonna go straight for the tablet, and then probably go right into desert. And you know, if this doesn't work out, he can choose to go back to swamp. Or maybe it gets him to do the Smith chain before that, and gets him to do that sooner.
Well, almost vanilla. We're just missing an O. Oh, there's the fire rod.
Oh, there's the fire rod. Okay. We still need Quake. So, I was about to say it's bad for Nielsen Alex, but that fire rod in that location, since it's not going to be going for Dante, we're still not quite out of it. So Dante also going to go to the back.
Yeah, Dante did do Agina earlier, didn't he? And he didn't scout the desert ledge.
No, he did not. Yeah, it might make a small difference here. I think if it were me and I knew that the desert ledge had the fire rod, I might just leave with that book. Dante gonna skip the key in this room, which I like. I like to skip that key.
Yeah, another one of the nice things about Specky.
Yeah, he can. If he goes back in, he'll have to grab that key instead, but that's fine. I mean, or could just grab the normal left side swamp key, but I think it's better to grab the Specky key. I don't know. I'm sure people are still working out what's the fastest way to use the Specky clip, depending on what you're doing in Swamp Palace.
Hey, it just occurred to me, that book was underwater for quite some time.
It was. It's a soggy book. I'm sure. I mean, the chests are watertight, right? Dante going back in, and he's gonna, this is gonna give time to Nielsen Alex, unless there's a Quake here. And if there's a Quake here, this is just game over.
And if Quake isn't here, this could be what Nielsen Alex needs to get back into this a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Quake here plus Nielsen Alex choosing to do Smith instead of going back into Swamp would be really big. Dante, big chest. You have the big key. Go get the big chest. Well, this is not ideal. I want to say this is... Now he has to grab this key.
You know, I was going to say he could just pick up the big chest on his way out, but he's not going to be heading out. And
sorry, he doesn't have to grab the key. He just needs to reset the room. But we'll see if he remembers the big chest. Now, I'm not 100% sure it's 3 items. It could be 2. I know we saw one in the map compass. A desert with nothing but the ledge with the fire rod. And there's Quake.
Well.
And you know, okay, so that's no mode for us, but that's probably very potentially game over for Nielsen Alex, depending on what he does next. Dante looked like he wanted to leave with that Quake. He's like, oh, this is go. Oh, wait, no, I'm still missing a thing.
Okay, that's just comical.
That is pretty funny. So if you just go left side and leave the dungeon... Actually, if you go left side before you beat Argus, having scouted the desert ledge, that's your ideal route. And he remembers his big chest as a thing, and he's like, yeah, exactly. You don't need the book. Book not required at all. And just 50 rupees. It was 3 items. I imagine Dante might not even ever activate that flute. Because he's going to go ahead, he's going to do Bombo's Tablet, he's going to go do Desert, he's going to see his Go Mode Fire Rod. Nielsen Alex doing Sick Kid. I thought he did this alright, but I guess that was Dante.
Yeah, Dante got his bottle a lot earlier, and when Nielsen got his off blind, he didn't have the mirror at the time.
Right, that is correct. Okay, maybe, yeah, okay, so Dante's not going to walk into Desert from... He's going to activate the flute. He's going to flute over there, and he'll get his Go Mode that way.
I wonder if at this rate he's just going to go into Meyer area without scouting the Desert Ledge.
I mean, he is, but he's gonna mirror and he'll see it then, so... Or he could, yeah, some people will flute to 6, jump off the ledge, see the item, and then flute again. I think that's slower. Especially if you know you're going to Desert. But yeah, I don't think this is faster than just following the book. Yeah, and chat rightly pointing out that there are a few other things he gets out of the flute, so...
Of course, it's very easy for us because we know where the fire rod is, but he doesn't.
Exactly.
Of course, he could have known if he'd scouted out
I mean,
saw the Gina.
I'm without the boots. I'm not a fan of scouting the ledge because it's really slow to walk over there. But with the boots, I like it. Yeah. So for those of you who missed it, we had left side swamp had a flute and Quake. So we get this wasted check of Meyer Shed. I imagine he'll now mirror and be like, oh, it's just there. Funny enough, this is actually going to give Nielsen Alex a crystal lead, but he doesn't have the ice rod, and he doesn't have the Quake. There you go, Ganty. Pick up your fire rod. And if, for the person that asks, for chat asking, where is the fire rod? Hopefully you didn't blink and miss it, as Dante just picked it up on Desert Ledge.
So he is officially in Go mode.
Yes, he is. He's a couple dungeons behind. But unless, I mean, Nielsen Alex could do, God, even with, we're going to see Ped, he wants to make sure the Quake isn't there. It could, because theoretically it could have been. Oh,
it's
powder. Oh, that's disgusting. I mean, it's not gonna matter because, yeah, it's not gonna matter that it's powder because he needs flute to put that in logic, and well, if he goes left side swamp, he gets his quake. So a little sad that we're not gonna see powder. It's my favorite safety item.
It's also fun to get revenge on the dead rocks every once in a while.
And we're gonna do North Darkworld checks for Nielsen Alex, and that's not ideal.
Well, if he takes this to Catfish, he might get his silvers after all.
Yeah, he might. I mean, that is a reasonable route to take.
Three perfect shots there on the landmost by Dante, and he's going to pick up crystal number 5. Well, no silvers, but he is probably going to get that ice rod now.
Yeah, and getting the ice rod before the quake is really, really good. Of course, he has to do all this other stuff first.
I like how when you bonk, the smith bonks with you, but his face doesn't even show a reaction.
Yeah.
You know, if it weren't for that quake, this would actually be a really close race right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, he'd still be, if I actually completely disagree. If Nielsen Alex has the quake, he's going Turtle Rock and he's not getting this ice rod. This is much better for him. He need to have any shot in this race. He needed to find ice rod before quake, and he will. So that works out really well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, Nielsen Alex did most of North Darkworld checks, did not get to Catfish, and has not done Zora, which is silver arrows for him. Right, Dante will finish up this moth fight and then flute or save and quit over to TR. Meanwhile, Nielsen Alex about to get an ice rod and leaves the purple chest behind because we can do that. Okay, going back into the mirror portal, so that's good. As if you're not going to Swamp, you're probably not going back into that mirror portal.
He has his mirror out. Look, no, he's.
Oh, where are we going? Yeah, I mean, you can take the whirlpool over here. I'm actually not convinced this is, I'm going to say this is not faster because he can just save and quit to the pyramid and get to Catfish from there. I could be wrong. But anytime you have to do a lot of swimming feels really slow. Especially when you have boots to run around with. But it is going to last location that Quake over in Swamp. Probably not going to find the flute since the Quake decided to show up first. But the flute, really not needed.
Yeah, even taking the time to activate the flute if he found it probably wouldn't even save him any time at this point.
It wouldn't. Because Quake you'd already be in go mode. And, well, I mean, he'll get silvers. We all said he wasn't getting silvers. He's getting silvers. Meanwhile, Dante enters Turtle Rock. Really not a lot of things that he could get here to make any difference. Could get a gold sword, all that really does. Makes the Trinex fight a little bit faster. Makes Ganon a little bit easier, but if you know how to do a 1-to-1, won't make it faster. And I know Dante can do that, so... I have to say, it just makes it freer. Is there anything in the mountain? Oh, this is Ether Tablet. He might not have done Spiral Cave as well. I'm not sure if he did it or not, but he definitely hasn't done Ether Tablet, so reasonable check for him. Of course, nothing on the Ether Tablet.
Okay, so he didn't do Spiral Cave before.
Did not, so we're going to do it now. We know this is nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and steal the key, take the 5% chance of this 2 small keys being in the lava chest and the big chest. And shouldn't get punished. Every once in a while the game decides to laugh at us. And I think we're down to last location for Nielsen Alex. It has to go back into Left Side Swamp.
Yeah, this can't possibly feel good at all.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I mean, people who know me well know I'm not a big fan of going back in for Left Side Swamp, but they would also know that with 3 items left there, I'd probably go back there. It's too many items to leave behind. Meanwhile, Dante making his way over to Laser Bridge. We'll need to get a key here. And there's the small key on Laser Bridge.
Well, Nielsen and Alex remembering the big chest on the way in.
Yeah, that's always nice. Nice backdoor Trinex strats from Dante. Always love to see it.
Nicely done.
I was watching 2 runners yesterday do this fight at the same time. I want to say it was in the HMG tournament. And one of the runners did the strat that Dante just used with the going to the back. And the other runner, you know, just did it kind of the normal from the front way, and you could see the time save. It was really interesting.
How significant is it?
I mean, it's seconds, but, you know, there are times when every second counts. Like, this race is, you know, not going to come down to seconds, of course. But, you know, those, you know, if you know how to do a bunch of those boss fights a little bit faster, it adds up. All right. Nielsen Alex has his Quake and will be heading on to Turtle Rock.
So he is a mountain climb and a Turtle Rock behind Dante at this point.
Yep, yeah, that is the case. All right, big key time. We see a few numbers in chat. A couple pessimistic people with the 22s. Shout outs to the optimistic Tevra with 1, which is already out.
22 is always my go-to pick.
Aw, you're just mean.
I just don't enjoy being right.
Like we're gonna do some dark magicianing on Dante's side as he mirrors out of the Stoutful's room. Be 8, 9, 10, and 11. And the answer is 11.
Okay, so half of 22.
There you go. And we climb. Also, love having silvers in the mimic rooms. I'm going back and looking. I don't think anyone picked 11, so we were kind of all over the place, but...
This is an actually very excellent MSU on Dante's side, I have to say.
Mm-hmm. This is, let me get it right, the Chained Echoes MSU, which is not an MSU I am familiar with. The music's... I'd say the music's pretty.
And Dante is just blitzing his way through this gauntlet. Oh, fun fact in chat, Dante made this MSU himself.
And of course, yeah, Landmo 2, you know, you could try as you will, but it just doesn't like to have a good set. There just doesn't seem to be a good, consistent setup that everybody uses in this room.
Well, he went 3 for 3 on Landmo 1. He had to go 0 for 3. It's the rule.
I mean, he got it in the second round, so it's in the second phase or round or whatever. It's fine.
Oh, just missing that whiz robe.
Yeah. I don't expect Dante to check any of these chests.
Yeah, there's no real need to, even though he doesn't actually know where the powder is.
No, oh, that's right, he doesn't, does he? Yeah, it was Nielsen Alex that actually did the ped check. We know it can't be up here. We saw him practicing this at the beginning of before the race started, and here we go.
Well done.
Gets it, no problem. Flexing those hover muscles.
Nielsen Alex getting bullied by that little Helmosaur, but he makes it past it.
That Helmosaur's mean.
Oh, did that count as a triple?
I'm not even sure it counted as a double. I only heard one hit, so... There we go.
Okay, it was a double, so a triple-double.
We'll just have to wait for the, Okay, here we go. You just, warp to the pyramid. It's fine.
So that's the real reason he activated the flute, right?
Yeah. Imagine if you had to have the flute to do that. That'd be crazy and very annoying.
Dante getting the 1-1 nice and easy. Meanwhile, Nielsen Alex is having an intense stare down with Trinex. Okay, Ice Rod does not light the torch, Dante.
Nope, it does not. Alright, finishing out Ganon. Basically a GT and a Ganon fight ahead. As Nielsen Alex enters GT. And Dante will cross that bridge and finish with an official race time of 1:29.08. GG to Dante and the perfect unadulterated gaming squad, who now goes to 9 points on the season.
Remaining a perfect 3-0.
Alright, looks like we'll have Dante joining us shortly. All right, there we have Dante, and also we're going to have Nielsen Alex as we watch him finish up. GG's, guys.
GG's.
Yo, GG's.
So, for you, Dante, the seed went fairly straightforward until you had to find a Quake and a Fire Rod.
Yeah. My my mid game suffered so bad. I forgot to check mushroom going to catfish, which was great. And then I honestly thought about running back from Graveyard Ledge, and I was like, no, just wait for Flute. Flute will be soon. And then I didn't feel so bad after I got Hammer and Mitts, and I was like, all right, well, I got stuff to do. And then, the stuff never came. Later on, I was thinking, do I Flute to 2 here? Like, do I have the time? I botched Swamp, after getting Quake. If I'd have just ran left, I could have saved myself a little bit of headache. After when I did Agina the first time. So,
yep,
I don't
know. Could have scouted
Lessons
that.
learned.
Could have scouted that Fire Rod and Mingoba with the Quake. I mean, I'm personally not a huge fan of checking the Desert Ledge except with boots, which you had. So I don't know. It's easy to not think about that though.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have walked it over. Unless maybe like a co-op or something. But,
yeah.
But yeah, probably. Obviously, hindsight is 2020. But should have ran that over. But it all kind of worked out. I absolutely everyone loves casual boots, and I'm so over this mode because it's like, it's literally you either get like a 50-minute seed or you get like the slog, and it's like everything just lately feels so front loaded, and then it's just 45 minutes of opening chests until something happens, which I mean, I know like we're playing a randomizer, so I can't complain too much, but it's just like I joked with my team. I was like, I'm just flexing next season. We're not doing casual boots. We're just gonna do standard start doors instead or something, just to make it like not feel so terrible. But anyway.
Oh, that'd be funny. Nielsen Alex, now you did a little bit of different routing at the beginning. And unfortunately, I think not having the Zora money was one of the things that really hurt you.
I guess both yes and no in one way, since I went up to, with the routing I did, ended up doing Aga really early.
Yes.
And then I got that bow in, what was Type Cave?
Yep.
I think it was. So it kind of worked out in the end, but it would have been nice to have Mir going to Pod.
Yeah. Yep.
And doing that whole chain, but doing Aga that early, I wasn't even sure if it was an Aga seed. So I was like, I'm doing this, and I'm gonna be at least like 7 or 8 minutes behind Dante already, so it's already game over. So it was a gamble.
Yeah, I mean, the seed was rejecting an Aga seed for a while, and then a funny thing happened at Zora, and a bow shows up for Dante, and we're like, well, this could still be an Aga seed, but now Dante has things to do before doing Aga. And of course, one of the side effects of that is Dante just gets a better castle tower, because he has he has a bow, and he's got the master sword, and things to make it better. I think at that point we had the only thing left was Agina.
Yeah.
How soon did you do Aga?
Like 15 minutes into the seed, I think.
Oh my god. I considered it. After I did CAC down into South Shore, I was like, you could just do Aga here. Like, it'll be fine. And then the bow showed up, and I'm like, well, it's a crystal, just do it. And then the glove showed up, and I was like, well, the mountain's there. Clearly the moon pearl, the hammer is going to be up there. And then you get Mir, so then Hera opens. And it's like, okay, the breadcrumbs are not leading to anything. Please help.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but in the end, main thing it did for you, Dante, is just like if we were hoping, Alex, in your case, that you'd get the mirror before going to Pod, and then you could just at least combine Pod Eastern together for a slightly better. For Dante, putting off Aga just made it easier because, like, Alex, you were like 4 hearts going up Aga Tower with a fighter's sword and using a lot of bombos because because if anybody doesn't has it not? If you've never done an Aga Tower with Fighter Sword, it sucks. Whereas
I mean, at
Dante
least I had like red mail, so
yeah, red mail helped. And Dante, you had like at least twice as many hearts of Master Sword. You had the bow to help you out. Like, just so much better in Aga Tower. But yeah, it would end up being required. I think by the time you were climbing, Dante, we knew it was required because we'd seen the mitts and the hammer on the other side. Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I had not done Agina at that point. I had not done Mushroom.
Right.
I had not ran back for Sick Kid because I was like, well, if I go, I could just, I've got Mirror, I could do all of these things in kind of a loop. And then maybe they're nothing, and then I don't have to worry about the Aga play. Yeah. But the more, I don't know, the more breadcrumbs I followed, the more I was like, God, there's got to be something to get me out of Aga here, because like, Aga almost, doing Aga when I did last year when we played almost bit me. So, it was kind of like, I'm thinking back to that, and there was like a lot of things of just like, don't make dumb mistakes. Like I didn't want to go back in for Left Side Swamp, honestly. I figured the book was going to be enough, and
yeah.
I was like,
that's what I did as well.
I was like, you full cleared everything. Like at this point, just do it. And luckily it worked out this time.
It's so hard to leave a 3-item left side, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
And yeah, the Quake ends up being there. Quake and Flute. So if you
I don't.
The good. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I don't want to talk about Swamp though. I had like the biggest meltdown, trying to. So when I got the Quake, the first thing I thought was, I didn't check the big chest on the way in, and then I pressed A instead of Y, and I jumped down, and I was like, "You have got to be kidding me!" So I run around, and I'm like, "It's okay. Fire Rod's just going to be right here," and I open it, and it's Flute, and I'm like, "That sucks," because now Myers on the table.
Yep. Yeah, and in fact, the funny part was that like if you scout Desert Ledge and do left side first, you never find the book, and you're just in go mode.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I personally don't like doing left side first in general, and especially without a big key. Big keys on Argus, so there are people that just do left side first no matter what, so those people would have been happy, but without knowing the Fire Rod, you probably still keep going, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I was like hoping for Dante. Like I checked race time room before I went into TR, so I was like, maybe Dante found like Flute and not Ice Rod. Because he hadn't finished it. So I was like, maybe he went into Meyer looking for Ice Rod. So I was like, please don't be finished already. So when I was done with Prinex, I was like, he's still not done. So maybe he did went into Meyer. And then I was like, I'm not going to check race time room until I'm done.
Yeah, I think he finished shortly after that last chat. If I remember correctly. It was about the time you were entering GT that I think he finished up. So, I mean... Yeah, but it's nice to finish too. So, but yeah, the book being the book being where it was, and yeah, and of course you both did Ice Palace for nothing because it's faster and it's green pendant, so it kind of flashes.
Oh yeah, 4 items. It's like, all right, that's clearly the money. Rule of Fire, right?
See, if we go back to the days before Icebreaker.
Oh, then yeah, I'd been in Swamp, but
I know, same.
Oh, and it'd have been right this time.
Everything. Yeah,
that's just I was talking to somebody about this last night, and like granted, in race situations, it's super stressful all the time, but sometimes you really just have to, whether or not you win or you lose, like you have to just kind of laugh at how stupid the game can be towards you at some point. Otherwise, like the joy of like what brought you into the game is pretty much lost. Which I I thought was kind of some really good advice on how to look at these things. And granted, like I was shaking my head a lot. I was kind of like down on myself, and I was like, well, we probably threw this, because I thought my early game was good. Late game, it did struggle execution wise, but yeah, like it sounds like if Nielsen goes left side Swamp, then he probably takes this one. So.
No, because well, let me ask you this, Nielsen. If you had gotten Quake, do you go to TR without the Ice Rod?
Hard to say, but I think I would.
Oh, you didn't have Ice Rod.
You didn't have Ice Rod yet.
So when I got the book, I went for the Bombos tablet into. So then I found a Fire Rod on the ledge, desert ledge. So that made a lot of sense for me. And then I think.
Then you did.
Yeah, did the mountain
Skullwoods.
Oh,
I think you'd already done the mountain. You did Skullwoods into
Graveyard Ledge.
Did North Dark World, and then Mountain, and then Purple Chest, and into Purple Chest, then Catfish Zora, and then finally Swamp, which ended up being the last location. So, yeah, I mean,
I'm not sure if I would do it or not.
Yeah, so if he gets the Quake on left side, it comes down to does he gamble TR for Ice Rod. So we don't know what would happen.
Fair enough. Well, thank you guys for doing comms and tracking. Do appreciate it. I'll probably have to go look at this one back to see how things shook out. But it sounds like it was a pretty interesting watch.
It sure was. Thank you, Dante. Nielsen, anything else from you?
I'm just happy that I don't have to play Dante more in League this season, because this is 2 years in a row now.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. We're gonna play in playoffs. You're gonna make playoffs, and we're gonna go at it.
God. I hope not. Either way, thank you guys for comms and tracking. I appreciate you guys for doing all these free streams. So thank you guys.
All right, and good luck to both of you in the rest of the season. This is only week 2, so we got a lot of games left to play. Schedule for today, there is a lot going on. I'm not sure I'm going to go through all of the games. I do know that there is a race going on that started an hour after us over on SpeedGaming Main. Team Jaime versus Cross Keys, Kermit versus Breve. At 3 o'clock, we have the Spoilers versus Bolas Azulas. That's Shady Force versus Kaide Rikawa. That is also on SpeedGaming. You can just, once you can turn over to SpeedGaming and just stay there for the day, and you're pretty much going to be covered. Because at 8:10, also on SpeedGaming, we get Farm Friends versus We All Should Hover Every Day. Wind Fox versus Act the Boker. And a couple more races at 9 o'clock. JKLOL versus Fendrano Drifters. Radical Sniper versus Jet on SpeedGaming 5. On SpeedGaming, we have Fluff Around and Find Out versus Bottles and Empty, which is Zeke versus Maniacal. And then also at 10 o'clock, we have on SpeedGaming 4 Beats from the East versus the Bomb Squad, Moogle Charm versus Adirondack Rick. And finally, at 11 o'clock, we have on SpeedGaming 3 Your Mom's Favorite Rando Team versus Don't Forget to Track Us. That'll be Gamachu versus PRD Wong. I want to shout out everybody on the crew. Blue Link, it was a pleasure.
Yes, absolutely.
And Plasma Snake on the tracking, doing a great job tracking behind the scenes. Trackers always are MVPs. But yeah, that's going to do it for us. Go over to SpeedGaming Main, watch the next race, and we'll all see you here at a later date. Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening if you're in Europe and anywhere else in the world.